If you tune around the 40-meter amateur radio band, and more specifically 7055 kHz, you'll come across a so-called radio war between Ukraine and Russia. There's almost 24 hours a day of insults and aggressive provocative hate speech, rap music in Russian, and all sorts of strange and wonderful transmissions flooding out into the ether. You'll sometimes see pictures drawn into the waterfall using easy-to-get hold of software. This is nothing new despite the current situation in Ukraine. It's been going on since around 2014 on the back of the Russian annexation of Crimea.
Друзья, мы рады объявить о новом сборе для младшего лейтенанта ЗСУ Руслана Рогованова и его партнеров из роты батальонного уровня «Хорт», которые сражаются на самых опасных участках фронта в Украине.
Козинка Грайворонского округа. Здесь, в отличие от остальных сел Белгородчины, никогда не носили лапти и не водили хороводов, зато имели свои уникальные обычаи. Здесь бабушки до сих пор говорят на местном диалекте, и исконно козинских слов не найти ни в одном словаре мира.
Сейчас узнаем, поймете ли вы на нашем козинском диалекте, допустим.
Слушаю.
Барем, варня, картошка та яйца. Солоне м'ясо, сажаємо цибулю і огурки. Дрібненько нарізаємо, додаємо соль, сметану, заправляємо все сироватку.
It's hard to say if it's just radio amateurs, militia groups, or if this constant barrage of propaganda from both sides is state-sanctioned. It's also hard to distinguish which side is transmitting. Maybe native speakers of Russian and Ukrainian can help me out with this in the comments below. It's believed that the perpetrators of this shouting of verbal abuse, patriotic music, and rebroadcasting of radio station programs are located in the border region of eastern Ukraine and the Russian Federation. Many sources have tied this frequency with Radio Rurik. Stanislav Rurik, the owner of the station, is a Ukrainian radio ham, journalist, blogger, and officer. He openly admits that part of this is him fighting his fight on the air with supporters of the Russian invaders. His private station has been active since the first Russian aggression in 2014 against the Crimea and Donbass. His website lists what are allegedly the most aggressive Russian radio amateurs on this frequency, with the first one now being Silent Key.
Ukrainian radio lovers appeal to you for help. It is necessary to deprive the Russian Federation of radio sport of all rights, including participation and competition. Help Ukraine. We ask all radio amateurs who hear us to apply to their Radio Sport Federation with a request to deny all rights to the Russian Federation of Radio Sport for violating the rules of amateur radio communication on the radio. Radio lovers of planet Earth Radio Sport Federation doesn't do anything to remove Russian propagandists and the war instigators from the radio broadcast for 5 years already. Ukrainian radio lovers appeal to you for help.
It transmits with extremely high power on 7050, 7055 and 7060 LSB during the daytime, depending on the ever-changing activities of the Russian adversaries and the level of jamming. It's also active in the afternoons on 3920 kHz, and in 2021 it worked in the evenings on 3731 kHz. A second Ukrainian station, believed to be located elsewhere in western Ukraine, allegedly cooperates with Radio Rurik and they exchange recordings. Others have stated that this radio war is ham radio operators in Russia and Ukraine transmitting propaganda, jamming and talking over anybody who disagrees with the beliefs of either side. After the propaganda broadcasts from each side died down last night, I was sure I heard amateurs on the frequency making comments, but again I'll leave it to native Russian and Ukrainian speakers to let us know in the comments.
Это все, да? Или еще будешь свою херню крутить? А мать-то все крутит, такое дерьмо. Мать-то ты дерьмо крутишь, да? Мать-то смешит, весь этим вот потом крутит. Желтый Тарюша. Ну что ты там, замолчал, а? Желтенькая подушка. Давай крути дальше. А мы будем смеяться. Ты что там, рожаешь, что ли? А я думал, рожаешь. Плохо тебе слышно, плохо.
Приветствую, друзья. Я Дмитрий Ставроман. Визит премьер-министра Индии Нарендра Моди в Вашингтон обычно не особо привлекает внимание граждан России, Украины или Казахстана, поскольку, где это Индия?
The nearby frequency of 7100 kHz was very active at the start of the recent aggression from Russia with the Glory to Ukraine propaganda broadcasts. So I suppose it's hard to pinpoint who's using these frequencies aside from Radio Rurik. Could it be amateurs? Could it be state-backed? I suspect it's all of the above. As for who has the biggest possession of the airwaves, Russia or Ukraine, well, that depends on who has the bigger signal in your part of the world. I'll leave a link in the description and in the comments to an unlisted video where you can hear more of the transmissions recorded last night.
Вся линия фронта начнет именно сдвигаться на эти самых 500 метров. Поэтому здесь важно, конечно, понимать, сколько было взято именно квадратных метров украинскими воинами, а не сколько они прошли. Потому что пройти можно, грубо говоря, на разных линиях 500 метров по много раз. Вот это важно. Но даже когда нам сообщают о том, что пройдено просто расстояние 500 метров, это уже, конечно же, очень значимый результат,